When you hit stop, there's a readout of time code there.
Yep.
What frame is this? Look at that frame. Let's say it's the frame number is 15.
Yeah.
So it's 2 minutes, 13 seconds at 15 frames. Rewind, play it again, hit. You will develop the ability to hit that exact frame 2 or 3 times in a row, if it's the right frame. And that, in a sense, tells you that it is the right frame, because if it's not the right frame, you can't hit it 3 times in a row. And but that will frequently happen where where should I cut? Here? Let me try it again. No, ooh, that's wrong. That was 4 frames later. Now it's 2 frames later. So that kind of tells me
there's something wrong.
There's something wrong somewhere. I don't quite know what it is yet. Maybe I should cut a phrase later or earlier or something. So the ability to hit the same duck at the penny arcade 3 times in a row when the ducks are going by 24 times a second, that's beyond your conscious control. You can't do that intellectually. You can only do it musically. If you're responding to the rhythm. Again, if you're standing up, you have a better chance at feeling that rhythm than you do, I think, if you're sitting down, although many talented editors sit down. So again, this is just personal. I will not make a cut by scanning or
go
searching for the moment when the door is closed, because it's artificial, and because you're also not allowing yourself to learn the particular rhythmic signature of this film, and every film is different. If you feel the moment of the cut in film A, the identical shot in film B might be at a different point. And the only way you can sense that is by looking at it in real time.
Even when you see a cut that somehow doesn't work, you don't go, I'll add 2 frames or no.
I will think that probably needs a couple of frames.
Yeah.
But then I will
do it in real time.
Remake that and try to hit 2 frames later. I mean, the key to it is, here's a shot. There is, let's say, an ideal point at which to cut. And you run the shot, and you hit it, the point, just the same way that somebody playing a musical instrument decides to come in at this point, and not this point.
Yeah.
So, I'm using Adobe Premiere on the film that I'm editing and it's the first time I've used the program, but I went to visit offices in San Francisco back in February of this year. And I said, I'm interested in the product. I've looked at it, and it doesn't seem that it has dynamic trimming, which it didn't. Avid has dynamic trimming.
When you say dynamic trimming,
being able to
on the fly.
Final Cut had it, the old Final Cut.
7,
7, and Avid has it, but you don't seem to have it. And they said, describe it. I described it. And they rewrote the program, and by May or June it was part of the program.
God bless you.
Right. It's an essential part of the way I work, and it really very quickly, if you work that way, allows you to pick up the rhythms that are peculiar and particular to the film that you're working on.
Yes, I agree with that's the way, in my humble way, I cut as well. It just seems like the real way to do it. One tends to spend a lot of time on audio cuts rather than image cuts.
No.
Okay, how would you describe it?
Dee Allen, the famous American film editor, that is the way she worked. So I've been told. I never worked with her, but she would apparently often edit a dialogue scene, editing the dialogue only, get that correct, and then hand that edited sound to an assistant and say, put some picture with this, and then give it back to me. Of course, that would come back, and then she would modify it. But for her, the dialogue is, I work exactly the opposite way, which is I screen the shots, take notes, in dailies, and then when I'm cutting the scene, I turn the sound off, and I edit without sound. imagining what they're saying, but also imagining, in a sense, the music that will be there that hasn't even been written yet, and the sound effects that might be there. Put that together, refine it, maybe refine it again, all silent, and then turning the sound on. And clearly, I have been editing sound, digital editing. The sound is there,
Yeah.
so you're cutting it without knowing that you're cutting it. Now I'm listening to it, and 70% of it will be fine. 10% will be wrong. Words will get cut off in the middle or something, and I just note, fix this. And then, but another 15% will actually be really interesting because it happened by chance. I may have used a reaction shot from somewhere else in the scene, and then there was a line of dialogue or even a sound effect that happened at that moment that I never would have done on purpose. But now that I hear it, I think, well, that's actually kind of interesting. So I save those things, fix stuff that is wrong, and keep everything else, and then move forward.
That's fascinating. To cut it with the sound off.
Well, it's David Lean used to work this way. When I heard that he did that, I thought, well, okay, if it's good enough for David,
It's good
I'll
enough
do
for
it
me.
myself.
Yeah.